Hello and happy Thanksgiving over here from the boys at Profoundish. Today we're feeling thankful and kind of lazy. So today we're just kind of talking about whatever we feel like and kind of going over some things we're thankful for and people we're thankful for as well. And just for fun, we've also got some Thanksgiving and Black Friday trivia and a couple puns too. Yep, that's about all. This is Profoundish.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
That's the wrong holiday, isn't it? Is that any holiday?
That's like Christmas, right? There's like
It seemed
a
Christmassy.
hymn or something that goes like that, right? Yes? I mean, it's literally
I don't know if
it's
it's a
literally
hymn.
the word hallelujah. It's got to be something.
I mean, I don't know if it's a hymn though, because like that's maybe it is,
I don't
but
know.
there's a lot of hymns that say the word hallelujah.
There's also
That's-
just a
that's
lot of
pretty
hymns.
common. They're all. That's true. My mom had a what are they called? A hymnal. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
And growing up, and she'd always keep it near the piano, and sometimes she'd play them, and that's where I learned some of my personal favorite hymns was just from what she played on the piano, and or just singing them or whatever. Though that was thick. That was like what's a good thick book to compare it to? What's like a book that's like notoriously known for being like long? It could be anything.
I don't know. Like I
Put you on
don't
the
know.
spot. Well,
like any
it's
of
very
Robert
long.
Jordan's RPGs, but not RPGs. The freaking fantasy novels, or like the Silmarillion or Lord of the Rings or something. Like anything fantasy is like always like stupid
That's fair.
long, unless it's young adult.
Well, it felt like that because that book was heavy and it was thick. The girth of that thing, you know what I mean? A
The
book's
sheer
girth. You can tell a lot
girth.
about a book by its girth.
There was this like ancient looking dictionary in the elementary school that I went to, the elementary school library that sat on like a podium or something. And I remember seeing it from time to time, and it was just absolutely stupid big.
Weston,
Yeah.
you unlocked a core memory. Great job. That because you and I briefly talked about this elementary school library before, and like the funky carpet and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like a den. It like dipped in. Like there was like a couple of steps downwards to get into the main section of, well, at least one part of the library.
There was like a descended platform. I don't know, like a platform goes up, but like imagine the inverse, a descended platform that you could step down into.
This was a thing in the 60s, but it reminded me of I can't remember what they were called, but in the 60s it seemed to be like kind of like a trendy thing in homes to have. I don't know how common it was, probably more like hoity-toity, but like there was like little dips in like these living areas in the house where you could like put a bed, and like I'm trying to, it's almost like
Like a nest.
I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a nest. Like it'd be hardwood floor, and then there would be like it'd be like square, and then you could like it's like, but not like a large square, but like you could fit like one or two people. It's like hot tub sized square, big hot tub. But like it's not a hot tub in there. It's just a couple steps that go down farther, and then you can like lounge on like a futon or something in that little section. Point is, that's what it reminded me of. But that dictionary,
Yeah.
that thing looked ancient and it looked sacred.
That's
Like,
why
there's
I
something
thought
about
of it
it.
when we were talking about the hymnal. I was like, yeah, this
Yeah.
ancient tome of words from the elementary school.
I wonder if that's still there.
There's
Probably
no
not.
way. It's probably disintegrated into dust by now.
It's an iPad now.
Can you
That's what it
imagine
is. It's an
the
iPad.
podium that it sat on is still there, and there's just an iPad on it with only one app, and it's a dictionary app?
No, better yet, it's an iPad with a photo gallery, and it took a picture of every page of the old book.
That would be
How,
some
like-
seriously dedicated archival work, is what I'm
know.
thinking. Well, because that's
I don't know
something some libraries have. The bigger libraries have like their archival sections of like where people are trained to basically do that. They go through really old texts and take pictures of the texts and convert that into PDFs and meticulously document these really old texts. And it's very long work.
I commend those who do that work. I can only imagine how, even if you're like a super big historian and you're into it, I feel like there's going to be days where it's a Monday and you do not want to do this. Like, I can only imagine how like monotonous that would get. But it's necessary
fun,
and it's important.
It is kind of fun to be able to go through the actual archive. Like if you work in a big enough library, so you have an archive. It is kind of fun to like peek through the archive and you're literally grabbing books that no one on the planet can look at right now. That's it. You can't Google it. It's not been archived. It's in your hands, and that's
wild.
it. It is kind of fun.
That's a wild thought. This is something I heard recently, and I know that you're a video game boy too, so I thought I'd bring it up. This was an official stat. I can't remember. I think it was from the video game history foundation. Is that what they're called? You know, that organization.
Something like that.
They did a lot of studying, and they put together this study, and they came to a stat that's the percentage is pretty close to being accurate, but they don't have all data. But it's something along the lines of like over 80% of video games are currently not like playable on current formats. Like there's so many, like 80% of games that have been made have only been made when they were made and are not accessible by any legal means currently. That's a wild number.
I'm sure a significant portion of that, because you said legally, and I'm sure a significant portion of that is also just gone, just lost media. Like, you know,
sure,
the cartridges or the discs don't exist. They're not backed up on a server or a computer somewhere or whatever it might be.
Because we're just now getting to a time where we're realizing and I mean as a full public, like how important the video game industry is and how big it is. Like, we've known forever. But like, I feel like but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's continuously growing in more ways than one.
It's funny that because so many people don't realize its importance because it's like, well, it's just games. But it's like, well, we archive movies, we archive books, we archive magazines, we archive all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we consider that to be important to our culture and to our media, you know, to our media. And like video games get kind of left in the dust in terms of foreseen importance. Also, you're right. It's the Video Game History Foundation. You were right.
So do you see the percentage?
Oh, no, I didn't look at the percentage. Percent of games.
I am curious because I want to
playable. 87% missing. The disappearance of classic video games. Quick facts: 87% of classic games are not in release and are considered critically endangered. Availability is low across every platform and time period tracked in the study.
See, that's insane. And I remember wherever I heard that from, they even broke it down and they were talking about different companies. And they said, like, it doesn't matter. It's not like that 13% is like Nintendo, right? Because they by far have the biggest legacy. But even they have so few games available, and it makes Nintendo fans so angry. It's like, you have this rich library of old games, and we can't play them. It's like just one stupid decision after another. And they're just one company. It's all of these companies. It's Sega, like old PlayStation games. Anybody, even farther back, Atari. Like, there's no ways. It blows my mind, and as a guy who really loves the old games, it just makes me really sad because I'm familiar with some of these games, but only by word of mouth. I can't play them. Some can't even, like you said, I can't even emulate some of these things. It's lost media.
Right.
So it's just so sad. And it's just now becoming, like you said, or like we just talked about, kind of a more respected field. And I wonder if it's because of just the old stigma 30 years ago. Like, and I don't mean like not the nerd sitting in the basement. I mean like the stigma of, like, well, this is for kids. Right. And then for a while there was that craze about violence and all this stuff. Like, parents were looking at it as like a kid's thing. It's a fad. It's, you know, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if it's still, some of it stems from that. but it still doesn't feel as respected as movies, even though I don't have numbers in front of me, but I bet you the video game industry competes with the movie industry when it comes to numbers now. I mean, these are multi-million-dollar games.
I'm pretty sure, actually, I think the video game industry outpaced the movie industry a couple of years ago. Hang on.
I believe it.
Industry bigger than movies.
I totally believe it.
As per the report by Super Data Research, the gaming industry was valued at $159.3 billion in 2020.
Jeez.
However, on the other side, the movie industry was worth $191 billion. Excuse me, I can't read. Was worth $19.1 billion. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's
video
a huge
games
jump.
was 159, movies was 19, which makes the gaming industry around 8 times bigger than the movie industry.
See, that's my entire point. I remember feeling that way for the first time. This was years ago. This was when GTA 5 came out, like the original GTA 5, not the 20 ports it's been done since. And so that came out, I believe, in 2013. And I remember at the time, I think, I could be wrong, but I remember hearing at the time that was like the most expensive game to make, which I wouldn't be surprised. And it was an astronomical amount of money for a video game. I don't know I don't even know what the average amount is, so I'm not even going to throw it out there. I know it's like probably that game was probably like tens of millions or something, but it was a crap ton. I remember thinking that's like a movie. Mid-budget movies can be made for less than $10 million. That's crazy. This is a video game.
The budget on GTA 5, which when it released, I think was the biggest budget a video game ever had, was $265 million.
Holy cow, I was shooting low. And I thought I was going to shoot high when I threw that out there.
Yeah, you said tens. I'm like, no, it was like a quarter of a bit. It was like a little over a quarter of $1 billion because that was so wild because then I think it grossed. I don't have that stat in front of me, but I think it grossed $1 billion actually shortly after release.
Well, we talked about this on our recent video game episode, which we should return to because I want to get back to that tier list. But I know that's in the top. I know it's in the top 5 greatest selling games ever. I don't know if it's number 1. I think Tetris was number 1, but I think it's literally like Tetris, Minecraft, and GTA 5 are like the top 3.
Yeah,
which all makes complete sense.
And Tetris has also been re-released in like dozens of different variations, which helps it a lot. And it's also been around for so long. But yeah, GTA 5 has so far generated $8.33 billion by itself.
Oh my God.
Since its launch in 2013.
That's like a little less than half of the entire movie industry.
Yeah. In the last 10 years, it's accumulated by itself nearly $1 billion a year. And like almost half of the movie industry's gross
annual
in a year,
average or whatever. That's insane.
Buck wild.
That is. That's the secret, though. I mean, like we talk about like the different variants too, but even that game, it's so widely accessible. Minecraft is widely accessible. That's on every console ever. And I mean, they even released Minecraft on like not the DS. What was on the 3DS? It's like, how did that work? I'm sure it was on the PSP too and all that stuff. Like, it was everywhere. I would never want to play that game mobile. I hated the app version. I tried it once.
I've tried it, and I don't understand how kids do it. I'm like, I can't see anything. My fat thumbs are in the way. The controls are garbage. Right. I hate auto jumping.
Did you ever try that Minecraft Dungeons game?
I did, actually. I played it for my YouTube channel. Check it out, everybody. Magic Man Mo on YouTube.
Oh.
I played it for my YouTube channel for like a couple episodes or something like that. I never finished it because I was literally playing it solo, and that's not the intended experience.
Yeah, it's fun with friends, yeah. I did that with our with Keelan once before, and that was like super fun. Yeah, I actually liked that game a lot. I mean, I'm into that kind of style of game. So I didn't think I would like it either, though, because it looked kind of, I don't know, kind of like watered down from like something like like Diablo or something, right?
That
which
was
it
kind
is.
Of it is. I was gonna say that was the sort of consensus. Everyone's like, it's a watered down Diablo, which is fine.
But see, and I kind of went in there thinking, like, is this going to be like a good experience, or just going to feel watered down? But it never felt watered down. It just felt like not a bad way, like you said, just kind of like a simpler way to pick up something like Diablo. And I know that's true because that was one of the first games when that came out. That was right around the time Steph and I started dating, and that was one of the first games that we played through together. We played through that entire game together, pretty much, almost all of it. And it was just a super fun experience, and it was easy for her to pick up. And for context, folks, Steph's not really a gamer, so she doesn't, and she definitely wouldn't know, like if I would have said it's like Diablo, she wouldn't have known what that means. So, but yeah, she was, okay. She learned, okay, so I can keep upgrading my weapons, and then we do these different runs, go through here, and and she got into it, and it got to a point to where it was just really fun. So I actually really, for what it is, I really like that game.
I mean, this is a deep cut for anyone who's like into these games, but like not everyone needs to be playing Europa Universalis. Some of us prefer Civilization. It's fine.
See, you lost me on that one. I don't know.
I was going to say, this is going to be a deep cut. Europa Universalis. It's made by Paradox Entertainment. It's a super complicated strategy. You're in Europe, commanding a nation type game. It's super complicated. But, like, some of us prefer Civilization, which is a little simpler.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know Weston's a Civ guy, because I got him. I don't know did you finally get rid of that mug that I got you, like,
oh, Lord, no.
8 years ago?
It is, all the, paint or whatever it is has chipped in various spots. But no, I still absolutely use that mug routinely.
That is incredible. I love that so much. Well, Weston, I'm going to say this to kind of switch our topics here. I am thankful for your what's a good word to use for, like, your patience with that mug. You've kept that mug for so long. The point is, I'm thankful that you still have it. I'm just going to say that. And you know why I'm thankful?
I was going to say, Alex, I'm thankful for all the junk you've given me. Over the
I've
years.
given Weston a lot of junk. It comes from two places. One, I don't need it anymore. Let's be honest. I don't need it anymore. And two, it's like, Weston could maybe get some use out of this. It's not just like I'm trying to pawn stuff off. I mean, I partially am, but also I'm not just pawning it off to anybody. I'm pawning it off to you.
Microphones, audio equipment, gifts. I've still. Yeah. So speaking of gifts you've given me, because we didn't really explain this fully. I've got a coffee mug of Civilization 5 on it. I'm also actively using right now in front of my face, my mouse pad for my mouse is still my Minecraft Magic Man Mo mouse pad.
Oh my gosh, I think that goes back even farther.
I'll say it. You got that for me. It's still here. It's the one that I use.
If I can be honest, that's probably one of my proudest presents, because it was I always like to go like super like kind of custom.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time, that was probably when we were a little less removed from our Minecraft days, when we both played a lot. And yeah, Weston had, I about called you Mo there, but I mean, you are Mo.
Yeah.
The point is, Mo had you did your own skin. And at the time, I didn't know how to do that. And it was also a little less intuitive, not difficult, but a little less intuitive than it is these days with Minecraft. Now you can just like plug and play. But there's a few less steps now. But point is, you made your own. I thought that was super cool. And he made, in one of our servers, he made a giant like statue, like huge, that looked just like him, because of course he did.
Yup. It's me. I made me in Minecraft to scale.
Surprise, surprise.
Times 100 or whatever.
So,
and then Wiley one-upped me. Then he's like, I'm going to build 3. And he built 3 of himself. Oh, yeah. Like, okay.
Oh my gosh. I what was I going to say? Oh, I learned though in your maybe you already knew this too, but on your podcast, when you were talking about like Baldur's Gate, and you were talking about how like you kind of made your character kind of look like you.
Yeah.
And I am so glad that I'm not the only one, because I'll make a character in in these RPGs where they're nothing like me, but I do like to make them kind of look like me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I like to do that, because there is some internet judgment over that I've seen. And
it's just people that
I don't know
how to
why.
have fun.
Have fun. If you want to,
If I'm going to do a self-insert, then I'm going to make my self-insert look like me because I like me. It's fine.
Why? Right. I know who I am. Who cares? Whatever. So, Weston, I bet you're thankful for Baldur's Gate.
It's been a lot of fun. I still haven't finished my first full run of my first playthrough. I still haven't finished because I'm too busy to finish. But I'm there in Act 3. I'm still chugging along. It's been my favorite game of the year by far. Probably of the last couple of years, I'll be honest. It's my game of the year for sure.
When we get to the end of the year, I want to have another episode. We did it last year where we talk about like the games that we played and like our favorites and all that stuff. Maybe when we're closer to the Game Awards in December, we should have an episode where like we talk about what we think is going to win, what our personal favorites are. That might be a fun episode.
I feel like I know some. We can talk about that then. I feel like I know some of the nominations, but I just feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win. It's got a lot of accolades going for it. It's going to win.
Well, and it's kind of, I will say the Baldur's Gate thing too. It's like, it's kind of this isn't the right description, but I'm going to say it. It's kind of like a Cinderella story sort of situation because it disappeared for so long, and then it came back and almost quietly, but then took the whole video game world by storm, like just overnight.
It was chugging along for so long in early access, just like knocking out all the beta tests and just quietly chugging away for quite some time. And then when it dropped, no one was ready for it.
Right. But we digress. I keep bringing up thankful, and we're not getting there.
We're thankful people.
Why are we thankful, Weston?
It's like Thanksgiving. I mean, not like
it's Thanksgiving time,
but it's the Thanksgiving season, weeks, whatever. It's Thanksgiving. We're giving thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding.
Goodbye.
Just walks away.
Just at clocking in at 23 minutes. Let's do it. We're thankful. We're thankful for this extra time that we have. No, we did this last year, and this year we kind of thought it'd be fun just to kind of do the same. Keep it cash and just talk about what we're thankful for. And apparently Weston also has some little bit of trivia.
I do. And speaking of keeping it cash, what if we kept it cash money? We were talking about how expensive video games get. Do you know the world's most expensive Thanksgiving dinner on record and what it cost?
The most expensive Thanksgiving dinner on record.
That's right.
So if I were to guess, I'm going to kind of have a backstory answer here. I'm assuming the most expensive would be some sort of corporate-related Thanksgiving dinner. Like, this wouldn't be a family Thanksgiving dinner, I don't think. I'm going to say, and maybe it's a big corporation, but it's celebrated as Thanksgiving. That being said, I'm going to say, oh, geez, I don't even know. I don't know, it can be expensive just to buy for your own family. I'm going to say $30,000 for a big corporation.
All right, just because I think it'd be funny. You say big corporation. One, I want to say you're wrong. But two, how many people do you think this dinner fed? You said big corporation. How many people do you think?
Okay, now I'm thinking about how big corporations can actually be. I mean, there can be lots of employees.
Oh, don't think too hard about it. Don't think too hard. Just throw a number out.
Okay. I'm gonna say 2,000 people.
What if I told you significantly less, but your money, the 30,000, that's significantly too little?
Oh my gosh! So what is it? That's wild.
The answer is the Old Homestead Steakhouse in Manhattan served the most expensive Thanksgiving dinner in 2019, worth a whopping $181,000, designed to serve 12 people. The dinner 12. The dinner included 2 20-pound free-range turkeys covered in $2,000 worth of edible gold flakes, seasoned with imported spices from the Middle East, with a gravy infused with a $3,650 bottle of Louis XIV cognac. The meal also included seafood bread stuffing made with imported bread and champagne, Alaskan king crab, lobster, Otero tuna, and golden caviar from the Caspian Sea, along with candied sweet potatoes made with imported cinnamon from Sri Lanka and butternut squash. It just keeps going. It just keeps going.
So this was like a froofy. We know what kind of money we're spending here. Thanksgiving dinner. I thought, because you're not listing like a crap ton of food. You're just listing things that are horrifically expensive.
Like everything that was ordered was just obscenely expensive by itself.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I was trying, maybe my numbers were off, but I was trying to be more practical and think, okay, it's got to be like a corporate event. Maybe this big corporation's paying for all their employees or something, and they're considering it a Thanksgiving. Wow. That's crazy, because you only said, like, how many turkeys? You said, like...
2 20-pound free-range turkeys. They're pretty big turkeys, but only 2. Because, again, it was for 12 people.
But they have $2,000 worth of gold flakes or something. Or
you know what's wild is that it's $2,000 of gold flakes. You're like, oh, well, that's where the money went, and that's not even true because it's only $2,000 out of $181,000. You know what's wild is that $2,000 of edible gold is still a drop in the bucket.
I know it's got to be that. It's got to be that imported stuff. I don't know what else could be that expensive.
It's just,
That's wild,
everything
dude.
Imported from everywhere. Now, I kind of wonder, because this is the most expensive recorded Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know if that excludes company outings, because I could imagine, like, I don't know, a really big, like, tech company. I don't know, like Microsoft or something, throw in, like, a massive corporate party that would probably be expensive, but I don't know.
Yeah, but maybe that would be not reported as the same thing just because it's almost more of like a work expense, instead of like this is a Thanksgiving dinner. Right. So I was going to pull up something for you here. Just this isn't really a trivia as much as a did you know. But so the day after Thanksgiving, Weston, maybe when you throw me something, I'll throw you something too.
Oh, okay.
So the day after Thanksgiving, we all know what that is. That's Black Friday, right?
Sure.
Weston, do you know, actually this first one can be a question because I can phrase it as such. Do you know, so Black Friday, actually the term existed long before Black Friday exists as we know it. Do you know how it used to be referenced? Like in what context?
Well, I know
this was in the 1800s.
Well, because the idea of Black Friday was like, getting your revenue and your goods back into the black or something like that. Are you saying that this predates that notion? Oh, no, that is basically it. Okay, I do know what it is then.
Good job. Yeah, it just says, and I didn't know this, as I said, in the late 1800s, the term Black Friday was used in reference to the stock market crashes.
Okay, I wasn't really thinking about the crashing aspect, but yeah, that was the idea. It's like, okay, we sell all these goods, move our product, reduce volume, and then anything that's in the red, you've been failing, you've been tanking or whatever, then we're bringing it back to the black. Black Friday.
Nice. Good job.
In video games, we like, red and green. Like green is positive, but in like actual reality, financial stuff, black is good. Yep.
True. So, I am thankful for money. Money is nice to have. I'm not saying that in like I'm a loaded way because I'm certainly not, but I'm thankful to have money in my pocket.
For the money I have, although I could always use a little more.
Yeah, I could always be more thankful for more money.
I could always be more thankful if you know what I'm saying. Somebody out there wants to give me $5 or 50.
You can Venmo me at AP Duquette, so just feel free to shoot that. People will do that, and some people will literally just and I don't know how scammy it is, but I've seen this happen before. When I used to use TikTok, there'd be like a guy and he'd go, all right, and this is kind of his thing. He was like a much smaller version of like Mr. Beast or something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, $1,000. I'm going to be divvying this out to 10 different people. Shoot me your pay, or not PayPal. I guess the kids probably use Venmo. So shoot me your Venmos and I'll pick. Right, me too. I'll pick 10 at random and send you $100. Like, geez, man, I'm plugging my PayPal or my Venmo in there. Worst case, somebody gets it and nothing happens.
I got a DM from someone on Twitter that I don't remember who this was, but I randomly follow people all the time. So I got a DM and they wanted to know my like Venmo or Cash App. I'm like, I don't have those. Why? And he's like, oh, I'm just feeling generous. I'm like, well, if you're feeling generous, I've got several free things you can do for me.
Right.
I've got this YouTube. I've got this blog. You could promote my Twitter. Like, I've got free things you could do if you're really feeling spicy. I don't really need your money. I mean, I like
feeling generous.
I like to receive free money, but I'm like, I don't have a Cash App or a Venmo, and I'm like, I don't just hand out my PayPal like just willy-nilly to people asking for it on Twitter. Like, I'm like, is this a scam? Are you going to somehow steal from me somehow? Hack me or something?
What if this is that one guy and he's like, I've got $10,000 and I really want to give it to Weston. I followed him for so long and he deserves it. And then you just blew this guy off like, you could have 10,000 extra bucks.
In hindsight,
I don't even know if PayPal can take that much. Probably
I'm sure it can. I don't know if that would just trigger something where there'll be a little automatic investigation. Like, hang on, is this like a bot? What's going on? It might trigger something, but I'm sure it can. But I would kick myself in hindsight if I lost out on $10,000 from a stranger on Twitter. But it's $10,000 I didn't have before, so my life didn't really change.
So that's fair.
It's like when you watch people on game shows, like they could like walk away with a crazy amount of money, but it's not the million. Like, I'm thinking of like Deal or No Deal or something. It's like you could walk away with like $50,000. That's still a lot. Oh, but it's not the million. I'm going all the way, because why not? You came into the game show with nothing. I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, I see that, but then I'm also like, well, that's $50,000 I didn't have before. Like, that's a good chunk of change.
Which, especially if you're on hard times where it's like, I actually just need that money, I would understand that. But it's like, yeah, $50,000
if you just need it,
change.
Walk away.
Yeah.
For sure. Because guaranteed.
I'd be like, if I've got a chance at that million and I don't take it, then who am I? What life am I really living?
I could never live with myself. Yeah, Weston, are you thankful for Deal or No Deal? Did you ever watch that?
I used to watch it a little bit. Sometimes you'd find that in arcades, and you could play that Deal or No Deal game. I actually had the Deal or No Deal board game.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a... I mean, there wasn't really a board, but it was like a board game. Yeah.
But we all were sure bored.
My family tried to play it. The first time we tried to play it, something about the rules made, because it's multiple, it's like there was 4 of us playing, so it's like, how does this work? We were so confused about the rules that we just thought, we made up a nickname for the game. We called it Screw the Banker, the game, because like there was no way the banker could ever win. We were just playing it wrong. It was pretty funny though.
Well, that makes it more fun. Okay, well, thankful for Deal or No Deal. What else are you thankful for, Weston?
Oh, gosh.
You got to be thankful for your family, right? I see.
Obviously.
I thought you were going to say, well, let me explain. That's what it sounded like.
Let's not be too hasty here.
Well, but I do want to say this. I don't, like, anytime I peruse Facebook for a couple minutes, it always just rushes a bunch of stuff to me because I usually only hop on every so often. But when I do, usually I see, like, your mom's page up there. Yeah. And it'll always show, like, the most recent picture of, like, you and, like, guys getting together. And I know on most holidays you guys get together and kind of have your family time. And I always think that's really nice to see that you guys are able to do that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that. It always looks really nice. And you guys take great pictures, too, by the way.
My favorite. So I was over there, I guess it wasn't was it last weekend? I have no concept of time. Anyway, I was there one of the weekends here a while back for my brother's birthday. So, we all got together, had dinner, blah, blah, blah. I make fun of my mom for this because it's so funny to me. We'll play Yahtzee. We'll all sit around and play Yahtzee, right? And if she throws a Yahtzee, she'll take a picture of it and put it on Facebook. And I'm like, Mom, like, anybody could just turn the dice to look like you threw a Yahtzee. No one would, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could just make them all yeah. 5. No one would know the difference. And this last time we were playing, she accidentally, before she took the picture, she accidentally put the dice back in the cup and moved on. Like, oh no, I didn't take a picture of my Yahtzee. And I'm like, it's fine. We could just take the dice and put them out.
Like it just fundamentally changes everything. That's funny.
I think it's hilarious, but she gets so excited, so we do it.
Well, I always look at those photos and I do smile because it makes me think about my family too. And we only get together just because my family's kind of spread out about once a year, and usually it's on Christmas. But as the years have gone on, every year I'm increasingly more thankful for that time, just because it's so limited these days, and we just really kind of relish in that when we're together. And we usually the board games come out. You know, a lot of the times Mario Party, like the old school ones, come out. So that's always super fun too, and it gets the old school Mario parties are just relentless. So there's a lot of yelling and screaming and cursing at each other, but that's part of the fun in our family. So, by the way, you should have seen. I don't think Steph knew what she was in for when she first came to our first like family get together, because it's like it gets angry and aggressive, but we love each other. Like just know
it's just
because
competitive.
When Steph's she's so sweet and she's just not, and she's also not really used to in a family setting playing a game, period. Like board games maybe, but like a video game of some kind, even like that. She's like, it was just kind of different. So then just hearing all the yelling and the screaming, it's like, yeah, but we love each other. It's okay. And we love you too. So, but anyway, I'm thankful for those times. Super fun, and looking forward to it again in just about a month away from now.
Yeah, we were always a board game family. We didn't really do I don't think my mom ever did any video games that I can remember. And we didn't grow up on Nintendo, so we didn't have party games like that. Like we had a PlayStation, but fair. It only had the 2 controllers. So we never had party games anyway. So we weren't a video game family, but it's just fun, the just stupid things we say. Like I can't even think of a good joke right now. It'll be something stupid. Like we'll be playing Clue and someone will say something stupid and we just keep saying it over and over again all freaking game. Like, oh, I don't have a clue. I have nothing for you. Or just, I don't know. We'll just say something stupid and run it to the ground all game. And that's just funny.
That's what I love about these family dynamics, because some of my favorite and the most memorable jokes in my head and in my heart are with my immediate family. And there's just something special about that, because it's something, it's not too different from just like a normal inside joke with a friend or something, but I don't know, just that something that you and your siblings and your parents or whatever the setup is, it's special just to you guys, and only you guys kind of get it, and it makes you, I don't know, it's special. I like that. Our mutual friend...
It's that moment when you remember that, oh yeah, like your own family unit is all the same kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Because we're all weird.
Vibe in your weirdness.
Right. Exactly. And then like you can say whatever you want because something weird because they know the context of you because they flippin' raised you. So like, yeah, it's perfect. I remember this is going to be a weird version of weird. But I'm just going to explain it because that's my family and we get it. And you know my family well enough, too, that I think you'll think this is funny, too. So I remember this is 2 or 3 Thanksgivings ago. I was visiting my folks. Might have been before Steph, because Steph wasn't there. So it might have been before I met her. But anyway, just 4 or 5 years ago. And you know me, Weston, I'll just say something completely off the wall that has no real merit or depth to it. I'll just say it. And it could be something that is weird. And I did that day, and I was like, for those of you who don't know, I call my stepdad, I call him Big Daddy, just an ongoing thing. And I just remember I looked at him, I said, so my mom and Big Daddy are rushing around the kitchen trying to get Thanksgiving ready, and I'm just picking on him because I'm thinking, who are you trying to impress? It's just like me and my sibling here. Like, just slow down. It's going to be okay, right? And but then I started poking fun at him, and I said, you know what would probably make this more efficient? And I told him, just do this, and I said this to him, not to my mom, but I said, just do this with your shirt off, right? I was just saying that to make him laugh, right? Well, I started talking to my sister, and then next thing we know, he's just rushing around with a hot ham, shirtless, and he's like sweating because like the fumes of the ham. Thinking, oh my God, it's Thanksgiving. We're all dressed nice, and he's just shirtless walking around. He said, well, let's make it quicker. Or he said something like that. It was just, it's so stupid. But the fact that he actually took off his shirt and did it made me laugh so hard.
He's just
and
like,
now we joke about it every year. Exactly. That is very Kevin. So it just like, fine, I'll do it. And then he took off his shirt.
I'm imagining him just, you think I wouldn't? You think I won't do it?
That's kind of exactly how he would say it, too. So thank God Steph wasn't there that year. That would have been a bad first impression.
No, that would have been the best first impression, let's be honest.
But we all got the weird family stuff. But that's one of the things I'm, once again, increasingly like thankful for every year. I've always been thankful for my family, but the older you get, the more you kind of start to reprioritize what's important to you. And the other things that I've always loved have always been important, but I don't know, it's kind of shifted. You know, anytime I visit Illinois now and I go visit like my dad and my stepmom and my other sister who's back up there now, it's just, I don't know, it's so much more of a treat than it ever was. And I think it's just because it's kind of like that classic thing, you don't realize what you had till you don't have it.
Yeah.
So it's always a treat. So definitely probably my biggest thanks always goes to the fam.
I mean, like, yeah, but also how cliche to be thankful of your family. How cliche.
In terms of a podcast and entertainment, yeah, super freaking cliche.
Yeah, how very what's passe mean? Cliche, passe.
Right. I know what you mean. Well, so what's something unique to you, Weston? Maybe this year specifically, if you can even hone it down to that you specifically are thankful for.
Forks.
Like that's what I might. Okay, explain.
I'm thankful for forks. The other day, I was trying to use a pair of chopsticks, and it made me thankful for forks. There you go. Done.
Okay.
There.
All right.
Is
that true? Chopsticks are quite the challenge.
I spent... Okay, so I think everyone has ever... Like, anyone who's ever come into contact with chopsticks has done this once, where it's like, okay, I'm going to YouTube this. I'm going to try to learn how to use chopsticks right now. And my brain fundamentally refuses. I go full just... baby mode where I no longer have a comprehension of how my body works, and I just cannot figure it out. I just can't do it. Like I see it, I mimic the like motions and like the placement that I'm seeing like on a video falls apart. I have no idea what I'm doing. My hand just becomes literal like dead fish, and I'm just like bleh, nothing. Refusal, just complete physical refusal to figure out how to use them. But a fork, now we're speaking.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You pick it up, you stab something with it, you put it in your mouth. Easy, done. It's that simple. Because you know for a fact that somebody who was raised on chopsticks probably won't have the hardest time going to a fork. So it doesn't go both ways.
Really
it's going to be
a
lot easier to probably pick up a fork, you can stab it. Oh, but they might hold it funky, but they can... No, chopsticks, it's different. So it doesn't go both ways. I agree.
I like I'm imagining the dichotomy. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for forks.
Okay, well, let's go that way. So
okay.
Let me think about something. What's something that happened to me recently that I'm... okay, this is kind of in context and it's short, but I am thankful for the lady at the UPS store, throwback to our last episode, who was working with me and told me, listen, this is the story I told. Go back to that last episode, everybody, after this one, where I talked about my horrible buyer or the Facebook Marketplace story, trying to sell that DJ equipment. And she could have easily just not helped me, right? There's other people starting to line up once I was with her, but she was like, well, if you take it out of the box, and she took the time to print out, she said, do you want this receipt thing to show the person you're trying to sell to so she knows you're not lying about the box costing so much more? Like, she was super helpful, and she didn't have to go that extra mile.
That's true.
Right? And so I am thankful for you, UPS lady. If there would have been a review survey thing, I would have done that for you.
Okay, if I have to pick a person that I'm thankful for that isn't family,
it could.
And I'm gonna say not friends because that's also very passe. That's so cliche.
Yeah.
How about?
It's true.
Well, because I'm also trying to avoid like work family because I've got some coworkers, right? Like my immediate boss has been so helpful. My assistant manager where I work or whatever is so helpful. Like I've got like a work family that I'm so thankful that they have stuck through thick and thin with just craziness. Where like I could have been left out to hang,
Sure.
like left out to dry in so many instances where they had my back. So I don't know if that might be diving a little bit too into family though, because it's like work family a little bit.
Yeah, but it's okay to say it. It's okay to say it.
I'm saying
it's a little
it.
cliche, but it's okay.
I don't know if it counts though. I'm trying to think of like a stranger, just a random stranger, like that UPS lady for you. And I don't know.
Yeah, is there any like grocery store experience or some sort of retail store experience that just maybe there was a little moment that you had?
Because see, my biggest like experience with strangers still comes from work. Because when I go out to like grocery store, yeah. So I like actually today, in fact, I was ringing someone out drive-through situation where I just handed him over his like food, and like I don't remember what it was. It was a simple order, and through the drive-through, I never put tips on people's cards because I just like it'd be too easy for me to fudge that. Like that's just kind of like weird to me. So I don't do it. And I don't ask for it. And the guy hands me his cards like, put $5 on that for you. Times are tough and gas prices are high. And I'm like, they sure are. Are you sure?
Wow.
And I was like, that guy gets it. He was rocking.
That's nice. Yeah.
He was rocking these like crazy shades too. I'm like, who are you right now? What's happening?
Oh man, he's cool shades, man.
I know he was
That's
cool,
really cool
shades, man. Rocks up in his car like, yo, put $5 on that. I was like, okay.
That's cool.
He was having a good day, I guess.
That would have been funny. This is where the director Alex comes into play. Like, I want to make this something like a video because I think about what if like he's like, oh, thank you, sir. Like, are you sure? Like, I feel bad. Like, no, please. So then you go like try to charge $5 in the card, and it's just
it declines.
Nothing. Like it declines. And then it gets really awkward.
Sir,
it's like, well, okay, how about try this card? Yeah, or whatever.
Try this card.
Oh, that'd be so uncomfortable.
All I have is $3 in cash.
That would be more uncomfortable. And if I were you, I would be the most uncomfortable one there. Like, I feel like I would be more embarrassed than the guy would. Maybe the guy would disagree, but I feel like I would be embarrassed for the guy. Because for me, it's like, it's $5, like you said. It's $5 I didn't have before, but it's $5. Like, it's fine. And now this guy went out of his way to say, hey, let me give you an extra $5, and he doesn't have it. I'd feel secondhand embarrassment like crazy.
Well, no, see, I would have been. That's a perfect example of like, well, it's the thought that counts. I appreciate that you meant well. It's not working out, but it's okay. I'll survive.
But what if that guy goes around? He does that with everybody, just to like people to think that he's a good guy. Like he goes around. He doesn't have any money, but let me tip you $20.
That's like a double whammy. You think he's a good guy, and then you also feel bad for him when you find out that he's actually like broke or whatever. So he actually gets your like attention twice, right?
That actually is pretty brilliant.
You get his like you feel like he's a good guy, so he gets that from you. Then you also get he gets sympathy from you. Double whammy.
That's kind of we should figure out how to make this. We should put this into practice.
No, I'm all right. I get my attention in other ways.
How so?
By just being
you've piqued my interest.
Just by being the absolute best at everything in the room wherever I am at any given time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, obviously.
That's right.
By just being actually I do that all the time. I just go into complete and like narcissist mode where it's like clearly this is all wrong because I didn't do it and I could have done it better. And I'm like literally just like checking into a hotel or something like, well, clearly I could have checked myself in.
I'm trying to think of another I like the stranger angle, especially. That's kind of fun. But what else this year for me, I'm trying to think that I'm thankful for. I mean, like, okay, how about this? This kind of goes, this might be cliche, but it's kind of unique. It's not, I'm just going to say it. I don't care. I'm thankful for having the means to be able to travel. We've done a lot of traveling this year.
Yeah.
And I'm super thankful for that. I've really learned how much I enjoy it, especially this year, just because we've taken so many trips. And just being able to do that is, I know for some it's a luxury. So to be able to travel at all. So I'm very thankful to be able to have that opportunity because I've learned how much I love it. So I know it's kind of cliche, it's like because who do you travel with? People you love, but you know what I mean.
But it's also like the means to travel, the time to travel. You're thankful that it all came together, that you could do it. Because, it sounds cliche, but I've been trying to take a freaking vacation for like a year, and it just it just doesn't come together.
Dude, yeah, like it's all for me. It was a huge perspective shift when I got out of retail a handful of years ago, because I was like, oh my God, wait a second, you're telling me that I can actually take time off and actually that's committed. Like I can actually take that time off. I don't have a blackout period. Like I don't have, like all this stuff that like I got so used to most of my 20s not being able to take any time off between the months of November to December. And those are the times where you want to take off if you want to go visit family or whatever.
Right.
So just having that, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for that. So, because some people just can't for that reason. Especially, and with you, it's even different because you might be able to, on paper, step away, but you can't step away.
Yeah, especially when you're in the management business and it's food, and it's just like, yeah, if something comes up, you're the guy, and it's like, oh, really? All right.
Right, you're the guy, right. Exactly. All right, let me come back in here and let me clean this crap up.
Let me go prove that I'm just the most valuable individual here.
Guys, you know how much I hate talking about myself. You know how much I hate fixing everything here.
I literally do that at work, too, though.
I totally believe it, dude.
It's like, you all know how I'm just the only person keeping this thing floating, this whole ship floating.
So, all right, Weston.
Yeah.
I have another Black Friday related question for you.
Okay. I need to give another Thanksgiving trivia here in a sec, too.
Yeah, that sounds good. I was just kind of cruising through this. So, I have two questions.
Okay.
What year did so like the joke, or not even the joke, it's reality, but like people talk about it every year, like every year it feels like Black Friday starts earlier and earlier, and eventually, like now it's on Thursday, like Thursday night it starts, right?
Yeah,
and
it's been that way
at least
for a
in
bit.
a lot of big stores. That's what I was going to ask you. When was the first year that a particular company opened up on Thanksgiving night, which was a big deal at the time, and what company was it? So what year and what company did it? It was just one that first year.
2009 Kmart.
No.
I was like, could you imagine if you were like, yes, exactly.
Are you kidding me? No. You're close with the year. I mean, I guess with technically all these stores are kind of similar. So it was 2011.
That was actually my second guess. Walmart was? Okay, because I wasn't sure what the store was. I was like, it's 2009 or 2011, and I kept going back and forth. And I don't know why my brain was on, because I wasn't thinking 2010. I wasn't thinking 2008. I was like, it's 9 or 11. So that's hilarious to me.
That's pretty good, yeah. That checks out for me, because I just remember every year, increasingly so, the family would have the conversations just about like, pretty soon it's, stores are going to open Thanksgiving morning, and
yeah,
it's going to keep going back and back and back.
Well, I think there was
I don't think it opens
Thanksgiving evening where I went Black Friday shopping with people, which is why I think I knew it. I think I knew it in the back of my mind and my subconscious. I know the year because I freaking went. I'm pretty sure.
Because you went, yeah. Goodness gracious. For me, I played the game for a while. I mean, you and I and some friends played the game for a while, but I don't really partake in that anymore. I used to, though. I used to kind of get, I like to get caught up in that, like the excitement of it all. I really wanted the TV or whatever I wanted at the time. And I usually was only into it for like the electronics part. I didn't care if I could get a deal on clothes. I didn't care. I just wanted to see if I could get that. I think that my best or my favorite purchase was there was like the deal at Best Buy for like when the PS4 was new.
Yeah.
I think that would have been, I think the year I got it was 2014. So it was like a year after the console came out. And it had, I can't remember what the price, I think it was like $350. And it was 2 controllers, The Last of Us Remastered and GTA 5 for $350.
Oh my.
Which is really good value.
Well, especially for that.
What really sold me on it was the 2 controllers. Like that was the cool thing that I loved about it. Because controllers are like, well, then I think they were like $60. Now it's like $70 or $80 for a controller, I think.
Are they really now? I don't console game anymore. But yeah, they were $60.
I'm pretty sure now they're like 70. Like, and that's not even like those like elite controllers or whatever. Like those are just the standard controllers. It's wild. I'm still rocking because I'm not really console gaming either. I still use my Xbox controller for any gamepad stuff on my computer.
Yeah, I have an Xbox 360 controller plugged in my computer if I want to use it for a game or something, and it's the see-through one, so you can see all the components, and then also it's got a light setting, so you can have no light. You can have the controller light up every time you hit a button, or you can just have it just constantly emitting a blue light. It's totally rad.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is it? I've seen it before. Is it actual like an Xbox controller, or is it like a knockoff?
Oh, I think it's not a knockoff. Hang on, what did I do with it? It's unplugged right now because I moved stuff. It's down here somewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is real because Xbox is like super cool and custom with their controllers. I always thought those were really cool. You can get them like any way you want.
I think it's an Xbox controller. It is labeled Afterglow, but I don't know if that's just who did the light aspect or if that's who did the whole controller. I don't know who
I'm sure
makes...
either way, it's modeled probably directly after a Xbox controller in general.
Yeah, it's definitely like the layout and everything is definitely the Xbox controller. I actually want to get a gamepad, not necessarily like a PlayStation controller, but I do want to get a gamepad that has the PlayStation setup, where the analog sticks are actually side by side, because that's actually the one that I prefer. Yeah. But the Xbox controller just plugs in just so easily that I was like, well, if I want to use a controller on PC, I can just plug this in and it works.
Well, you know that you can do, I don't know if you can do it wired, but I know you can do it Bluetooth. But if you're big on the lag input, that could make a difference if you're playing like a shooter. I don't have issues with it because I'll use the PlayStation 1 sometimes on my computer.
Believe it or not, when I built this computer, I didn't give it Bluetooth.
You son of a gun!
I didn't give it Bluetooth.
Get some Bluetooth in there. It's cheap.
Nope.
All right. Well, never mind.
Not gonna do it.
That'll be my Christmas gift to you this year. I'll give you the components you need to install it, and then you'll just refuse it.
I'll just leave it like on top of my computer tower, doing nothing.
It's like it's not in my computer, but it's on my computer.
Does it count? No. I do like having it plugged in. Though, because I used to be a big proponent of like wireless like mice and stuff, but like I don't know, the batteries are such a thing that I kind of like just being able to plug a thing in and not worry about it.
Oh, I get it. There's a good one that I'll say. I'm super thankful for that we kind of briefly talked about this too, but I'm thankful for my computer setup / studio setup. It's by far the most convenient setup I've ever had. And I still think back to the days just a few years ago when I was using my gaming laptop that was like way too old and it was just chugging along and stuff. And so I'm definitely thankful that I bit the bullet and took the time to build a computer that can handle what I need to do and then also just have this entire setup. The convenience is so nice. You don't realize how much time it takes to set things up and take things down until you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I know that you don't have to do like that, maybe the setting up and taking down aspect as much, but I'm sure you understand. Like there's, like if you had to like, if you had like a microphone and a light and things, because you got to have a permanent setup too, right?
Yeah, I've got
you don't really have to do much moving around.
I've got a fairly stationary spot. I get irritated if I have to move my green screen, and it's really not that hard. It's really not that bad, and yet it's like, oh, Really?
It's such a human thing. Like, I'm the same way. When I do my medleys, I use one of my... So, I've got my 2 screens sitting on my desk, if you kind of remember how it's laid out. And I take one of my monitors, and I kind of pull it out from the wall, and then I string a long HDMI cable from my camera to that TV or to that screen, so I use it as a monitor. So when I'm across the room, I can see how the camera looks, right? And that alone takes, a minute to set up. And it's my least favorite part of filming. Like, I don't know why. It's because, I got to move the screen. I got to unplug this HDMI. I got to plug this one in. For some reason, it just, I don't know. It once again, it's like a first world problem, but
I get it.
But then I think about, well, there's wireless. I could go wireless, but I don't want to spend the money on that, so forget it. Anyway, it's little things like that.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. You want to give me another
I'll give you another Thanksgiving trivia. How many women were at the very first Thanksgiving celebration?
I wonder if this is a trick question and there are none. Maybe they were like sitting on the boat.
Well,
I mean, hey,
I don't know.
These were different times.
I don't know if that counts if they're like they're there, right? If they're on the boat celebrating, having like girls' night at the boat.
Don't trick me, Weston. You're going to do that. Don't
eating corn.
Eating corn with the Native Americans. They're all out there having fun, and then
throwing the pigskin
here comes
around.
That's right. They're just having fun. Hey, girls, how are you doing? They just showed us how to play football. It's awesome.
They're like,
and then
doing each other's nails
great.
or something.
Or even worse, it'd probably realistically be like, anyway, if you could make us dinner, that'd be great. But jokes aside, I would say, how many women? I don't know. I don't know how many people were there. So I'm going to say it's a lesser amount, and I'm going to say, I really don't even know the number of people. I don't think it was that many. Can you give me does it say the number or like the estimated number of people that they thought were there?
I can add it up, actually.
Is there anything?
51.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. It's a little more than I thought, but okay. Then I'm going to say, I think it's like 9 women.
9 out of 51?
I think it's a small amount, yes.
You were on the right track. The answer was 4.
Oh my god.
Just 4. 4 women, 22
women
men, and 25 children and teenagers. Now, I guess the children and teenagers could be boys and girls, but like as far as women go, 4. Although reports vary.
Those poor women.
Yeah, right. It's fairly certain that there were only 4, maybe 5 women at the first Thanksgiving celebration, all of which were married to men who were part of the first group of settlers. Eyewitness accounts say that there were just 22 men and over 25 children. There were originally more women on the voyage over, but according to History.com, about 78% died on the journey from winter and disease.
Well, that sounds right, too. That was not
was
unheard of.
Definitely a thing.
Yeah. All right.
But that was like just 4.
That's wild. I knew it was going to be less, but I didn't think it was going to be that much less. Wow. Man, imagine that first Thanksgiving. I don't even mean the context of it. I just mean, what did they eat? Because I know, like, I'm not really well-versed in this particular part of history, and I apologize, but I don't even know really what they ate, because I know things have changed over the years, and we've made things into traditions. But you say corn would make sense.
Yeah, like
but I don't know what else is there.
The typical representation of like Thanksgiving, if you see like paintings or whatever, like images of like a sort of dramatized version of the first Thanksgiving, has just like a lot of what you'd probably expect people to be, like corns and squash and stuff. Probably some kind of bird. If it wasn't literally turkey, whatever birds they would have had around to eat, pheasant or something. So,
right.
I don't know. Obviously, we
there's somebody
We have our kind of,
go ahead.
I was going to say, obviously we have our traditional food now, but at the time then, whatever they could get their hands on, I guess.
Dude, I am thankful for corn casserole. I love me some corn casserole.
Love me some cornbread.
And sweet potatoes. And cornbread's good too. Or not sweet potatoes. Sweet potato casserole.
I'm not a big sweet potato fan, I'll be honest. I've tried.
Really?
I've tried.
It's so yummy.
I just can't get into sweet potato. Like, I'm not revolted or anything. I just can't get into sweet potato stuff, like any of it.
Well, see, I already knew that. We talked about this last year. This is territory we get into where we like share very little similarities. Is the food?
Yeah, so actually,
food
you're right.
We just don't line up on.
Somehow, that's just not it.
Yep. Every time we've done like a food like tier list related thing, we've always been so off. Anything else, we see each other. Anywhere in there, it's like no.
Yeah, everything totally else different. Is like, oh yeah, we see eye to eye, we compromise, we're in total agreement. Food, right. No. It's a war zone.
For one reason or another. Well, I think it's good, but well,
yeah.
Any other last minute Thanksgiving things you want to share with me? We're clocking in here about an hour.
There was a town in history that canceled Thanksgiving because they couldn't make any pumpkin pie. What town was it?
They couldn't make any pumpkin pie, so they canceled Thanksgiving for the town. So this had to have been a long time ago. I'm assuming this is going to be a town somewhere like up in the Northwest. Or not Northwest, Northeast, sorry.
I say the Oregon.
Yeah, out in Oregon somewhere. No. Oh, geez. I don't even know a lot of like northeastern like towns.
I mean, you're not gonna name the town. I just asked the town because like that's the trivia bit. But there's no way you're gonna name this.
So I think it took place somewhere in Maine.
No.
Okay.
Colchester, Connecticut. A frigid bout of cold weather in the middle of October led to the Connecticut River freezing, so settlers couldn't get their usual liquid sugar shipped on time from across the pond. Thus, the townspeople decided to postpone the holiday for a week in 1705.
Oh my God.
It was so legendary.
Thanksgiving is canceled.
It says here, it's canceled for a week. It was only a week, so canceled is a little dramatic. It was postponed. It was so legendary, Rose Mill Powers wrote a poem about it in a July 1908 issue of Good Housekeeping. And I only mention that because I'm getting all my trivia from goodhousekeeping.com. So there's my sources cited.
So, but that was 200 years later. They wrote a poem about it. And it was still holding strong with him?
It was so legendary that 203 years later, this person wrote a poem about it.
Man, to be that guy. Maybe he like his family line goes back to it or something, like he's from that town, and like, I'll tell you about the time your great-great-granddad had to postpone Thanksgiving for a week,
Here's another bit of trivia for you. Another bit of trivia, right?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that really expensive Thanksgiving dinner earlier, and that it had 2 20-pound turkeys. What is, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, the heaviest turkey on record?
Oh my gosh. I feel like this number is going to be way bigger than...
It's absurd.
So you said 20-pound turkeys. You said 20-pound turkeys for that expensive one, right?
Yep.
Is that what you said, 20?
Yeah, 2 20-pound turkeys.
Now, to me, 20 pounds seems like pretty hefty. So, okay, so like, I don't know, like a lab, like a dog is like what, like 80 pound or something. Like a full something like that.
I have no idea how. I have no idea how much.
I think it's around there. It's like 60 to 80 pounds. Yeah, what's the average weight? Just tell me that of like a standard just adult lab.
Yeah, around the 60 pounds range. The males are 60 to 80 pounds, and the females are 50 to 70 pounds.
So I've picked up our 70-pound dog growing up. That's a heavy thing. And just 70 pounds dead weight. There's no way a turkey is going to be that heavy. So I'm going to say, this number stuck out in my head, and it was the first one to stick out, so I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say 36 pounds. Because I feel like that's almost double the 20. That's a lot of weight. So I'm going to say 36 pounds.
Higher. Much higher.
Oh, my God.
What if I told you it was, in
50?
fact, heavier than your dog?
There's no way in hell. Okay. I'm going to say it then. Is it 80 pounds?
According to Guinness World Records, the heaviest turkey weighed a whopping 86 pounds.
Oh, my gosh.
86-pound turkey. It was sold at a charity auction in London in 1989 for almost $7,000.
86 pounds. That's insane. Like, I'm trying to think of a good comparison. That is picking up a full-grown, a little bit overweight dog, like lab.
Really chunky lab.
Oh, my gosh.
A thick with 2 C's
That is
lab.
a lot of weight, dude.
That's a heavy bird.
That's like 3 C's, dude.
There's like no...
That is heavy. It's a bird, yeah.
There's no way
It's
that bird flies.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck, pal. Wow. That's the most interesting one you gave me this whole episode. They could have, you know what they probably should have done?
What's that?
At that dinner, they should have probably just gotten that expensive dinner. They should have just gotten that, an 86-pound turkey instead of getting the 2 20-pounders.
That's what they should have done. They should have gone back to, what I say, 19-something. They should have gone back to 1989 and gotten this 86-pound turkey back in time, brought it forward in time. Yeah. That
would have been a lot more efficient.
This trivia doesn't tell me what, like, if this like nearly $7,000 is in then money or current money. It also says dollars, and it happened in London, so it's like some kind of conversion has happened. I wonder what that turkey would be worth now. Money.
We'll do it. Do the inflation calculator.
Hang on. I don't know where the dollar sign. It says $7,000 in 1989 in today's money. Google can figure that out.
Yep.
This is what I do on a Hasty podcast, too. I have to sound out what I'm typing or I can't do it. $7,000 in 1989 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $17.3 thousand today.
That makes me sick to my stomach because that wasn't even that long ago. Wow.
I mean,
$17,000.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually not too bad when you I mean, you know what's kind of more sickening?
It's over double.
It is, but when you consider some things in the last few years have doubled in price just recently. Like I'm thinking of the price of a sandwich.
Before, yeah.
A price of a sandwich has doubled to almost tripled in the last 5 years. So the fact that like this turkey didn't even triple in price in over 30, doing pretty okay.
Okay. Fair perspective. I know that shout out to my Halloween commercial stream I did a few weeks ago over on my YouTube channel. And on there we watched these like 80s and 90s and 2000s like Halloween commercials just for fun and commentary. And there's this one commercial and they were selling a bag. It was just it was like a local grocery store selling a bag of candy bars. And it wasn't the little baby ones. It was like normal size ones. I think it was like not Goodyear. Is it Mr. Goodbar?
Yeah, that's a thing.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, but it was like normal size, not snack size. And it was a bag of them for like $4. And it was like 20 of them in the bag, right? And we're sitting there going, now a normal like Mr. Goodbar is probably almost $4. Like, it's crazy to think about. I just remember thinking that, that kicks you in the gut.
It kills me when, like, if you want to just buy, like, a Snickers bar, it's like $2 for the bar. Or something like that.
Right, for one bar. Right. It's wild. Well, Weston, I'm not thankful for inflation, but it happens.
It does. It makes the economical world go some way.
I was going to say it makes it go. I don't know what direction, but it goes.
It certainly be doing.
Well, I think we can wrap it up here so we can get to our own individual Thanksgiving meals.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe one year, Weston, you and I could do a Thanksgiving episode live. Maybe next year we can try and plan that. We can get some wine and get some corn.
Is wine a very other Thanksgiving beverage?
We always did wine, yeah.
Did you? I have no idea.
Maybe that. I do come from a family of fully functioning, mind you, but functioning alcoholics, and I don't use that word loosely. So maybe that's just something we did. I don't know, but
because I was thinking,
I always associate wine with it. Cider's very fall-y.
Yeah,
I'm totally on board with it. I just like my red wine and my turkey.
I'm gonna have
I know it sounds kind of weird. I know a lot of people like their red wine with steak and beef, but I like it with turkey.
You can have anything with anything. Don't let those snobs tell you can't have a glass of Merlot with your Big Mac. Don't let the snobs tell you can't do it.
I like the specificity of that.
It's almost like it's from experience.
Hey, Weston.
Hey, what's up?
Where can people find you on the internet? You mentioned your YouTube channel. You should mention that.
It's called Magic Man Mo on YouTube. It has nothing to do with magic really, but it does have something to do with video games, and I play them and we stream them, and yeah, go check it out. And then I also have a blog of poetry, hastylymadedecision.com. I have a Twitter. You can come say hi to me at Weston Hasty. What else do I have going on? I don't know. Follow my TikTok. I don't know. Sure. At Weston Hasty. Where can we find you doing stuff? You do more interesting stuff. I play video games like a weirdo, like a weird nerd on the internet. You do music and stuff?
No, it's not a matter of more interesting. It's just different, Weston. Because if I could, and I tried to, but it's a grind to just stream games and stuff. But no, I do. I do. Actually, speaking of video games, I do have one main plug I'm going to bring up that does involve video games.
Ooh.
But you can find me. I'm primarily known for doing music on YouTube. I do medleys. So if you like, specifically of nostalgic TV shows and stuff. So if you like TV show theme songs and cartoon theme songs, I take all of those theme songs, put them in together into one tiny song, and play it all strung together. It's super fun. So go check that out. But I have an extra special plug I want to do. I have a new channel as of the release of this called VGM Quest, where I'm going to be doing, or where I've already done the first video. In general, I'm doing video game soundtrack reviews, video game music reviews. And the first one I did it on is, if you're a Zelda fan, you'll really appreciate it. It's the Ocarina of Time soundtrack, and it's long form review, kind of analysis, kind of retrospective, celebration. It's kind of a little bit of everything, just talking about the soundtrack in depth, each song. So check that out, VGM Quest. That would mean a heck of a lot. It's pretty new as of the time this comes out. So
yeah, if you haven't,
go watch it.
If you haven't seen it yet, that's VGM Quest. It's a great video. It's like a video essay. It takes about half an hour of your time, goes way further in depth than you could possibly imagine you could, talking about the soundtrack of a random video game from your past. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. I did.
Yep. Well, I actually still want to talk to you about it because Weston was one of the first people to see it, and I'd love to hear what he has to say, but we'll do that after we record. In the meantime, everybody, thank you for listening to Profoundish. You can listen to us in all of our places that we always are, Spotify, Apple. Listen, I want to say this. I say it every time. If you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, that is one of the best ways to show support. So if you listen to this show and you really appreciate and enjoy what we do, there's no better way than to hop on Apple Podcasts because that really helps push our show to the top. So please do that. In the meantime, you can also follow us at our social media links. So we got a TikTok at Profoundish Pod. We're on Instagram, same. What else do we have, Weston? I always get tricked up. What else do we have after
a Twitter, a TikTok, and Instagram. Look us up at Profoundish Pod.
So check us out there. And I think that's all for now. So we're going to get going. We're going to go eat some ham, eat some turkey. I hope you enjoy your ham and turkey and your corn and your cornbread and everything else.
Why did the cranberry turn red? Because he saw the turkey dressing.
And with that, everybody. All right.
All right.